Welcome back. And with me is Bianca Rhodes. How are you doing today, Bianca?
I am great, Dr. Wolf. I'm excited to be here.
It is because you have somehow avoided this interview the entire season.
Yes, I did.
So we better tell everybody why we're so excited to have you on the show today. Well, you are the producer for this show, Altitude.
Yes.
And you are also a creative. You are also very technical. So
Yes.
you match all of the qualities that we have with STEAM.
Yes.
And it's just an honor and a pleasure to have you here as one of our guests. And so knowing that you have a real rich history and story to tell, we talk about obviously the lifestyles, we talk about education, we talk about careers.
Yes.
So how did you get to be this video producer, TV mogul?
Well, honestly, it started when I was 14 years old.
Okay.
It started with a show called Don't Believe the Hype with TPT Television. And I just fell in love with it. They had started up they did like a reboot of a TV show.
Yeah.
And my best friend invited me to come to the launch. And
Okay.
I saw all the lights, I saw all the cameras, and I fell in love with it.
And that was you.
Yep. And I haven't looked back since.
Fantastic.
Since 14.
You don't even have to look in the rearview mirror. So
No.
since 14, you took your creative side and maybe you didn't even realize
Nope.
that you had that side, right?
No.
Yeah, and many of our students don't realize what their future and their life could be, but you have to get in it and try. You had to be
Right.
there, right? You had to
Yes.
see it for
Had
yourself.
to show up.
You had to show up to show out, absolutely. So we're very glad that you went down that road. And we actually thank you for being our producer for this show.
Well,
So you've never turned back. So along the way, with the way that technology has progressed so rapidly,
man.
right? Do you want to talk a little bit about what technologies or how you kept up with the pace of technology?
oh man. Well, I guess in a way, just finding out different types of cameras and such. And I have to thank this place that we're in. So St. Paul Neighborhood Network has been keeping up with different technologies. So they've been around for over 30 years. So they've seen where it was the reel to reel, and then it turned into the mini DV tapes, and then it was no longer tape. And so they have been keeping up with that. And along with my college education, they've also taught me so much.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so I was able to tinker around with other types of cameras and technology through this magical place. So
Yeah, and
shout out to SPNN.
yeah, spnn.org. You know, a lot of people don't realize that organizations like Minnesota STEM Partnership, but for sure SPNN, they're nonprofits.
Yes.
They depend on donations and sponsorships. And so we're hoping that through our publicity, through the classrooms, all the way, you know, BDPA tagline is from the classroom to the boardroom. So hopefully somewhere along the way we'll realize how important this content is and, you know, maybe step up and provide some additional support. But having said that, I've watched your journey from afar as well, and I know that you were bedazzled by the 14-year-old's eyes in the studio.
Yes.
But tell us about some other work that you've done, maybe any special projects. I know you have a show locally that you created, and you also have done some award-winning films. Could you
Yes.
share a little bit about that with the audience?
Yes. So, well, currently, the show that I do monthly is called Candy Fresh.
Yeah.
Candy Fresh is
Hey.
a show about music, arts, and culture. It has a DJ, it has dancers sometimes, interviews, live studio audience, and a musical performance. And it is my baby. We are almost done with our 4th season.
Wow.
And it has been an amazing journey. Just honestly, it's my give back type of show where I can highlight those who have supported me, and then also up and coming people, up and coming youth, up and coming artists, community leaders, business owners. It allows me to connect with all types of people, and so I truly love doing it. So.
Well, it shows through the show, right? You can see the laughs, the smiles, the fun that everybody has. So it's an incredible show. And actually, we are very blessed to have you sprinkle a little bit of that fun.
Tiny bit.
Who wants to talk about careers? Who wants to talk about school? We're in school. We don't need to hear more about, well, I got to get a bachelor's, I got to get a certification, I got to do all these things. So,
Yes.
Yeah, so you've taken your study through SPNN coaching and mentoring and staying current with the technology.
Yes.
That manifests itself oftentimes in a public way and winning awards.
Yes.
And different things like that. And I focus in on that to say, because it's very special to have you right here with me and be honored that you've won this great award. And I'm sure you have like a bunch of other ones, but tell us what I'm really trying not to say.
Okay, so I am a Emmy Award-winning
Yay.
media professional, and it was through TPT Television. And so my mentor, Daniel Bergen, shout out to Daniel Bergen, who's the senior producer for TPT, had brought me on to a project called Discovered Truth. And Discovered Truth was about the relationship between African Americans and the healthcare system. And it was a documentary that we shot over, it was around 2015. And it was an amazing experience because Daniel Bergen has known me since I was a teenager. And so to have been brought in as an adult and as a professional to come in and assist him with producing and various parts of the film, I was honored and blessed to just even have him think of me. And it was amazing. And you never know when you put in for an Emmy, you never really know. And you'd have to go to the ceremony to see and stuff. And there's a backstory on that whole day for
What
me.
happens at the Emmys stays at the Emmys, right?
And so I made it, but I almost didn't make it there. But it was amazing, and to hold my what do they call it? It's a certain type of angel. Well, they call it an angel. And just holding that and just knowing it, and then seeing it with your name on it and all that stuff. So I keep it in my office. It reminds me, it keeps me humble. It reminds me to keep moving forward when I don't want to edit, when I don't want to do things. So it keeps me focused.
Well, we appreciate it because I personally know how much time it takes to edit videos. I had told you at one point in time I wanted to do music videos for, Jimmy Jam and all the back in the day, right? I knew 3/4-inch tape like crazy. I was the best editor in my class. But field production and me, we just didn't. I'm glad I found IT.
Yes.
So we have time for a little bit of one more project maybe. Do you want to share another current project? I grew up in the Rondo neighborhood,
Yes.
right? So that means a lot to me. Can you share a little bit about that project? And then maybe if you can throw in like any technical or how, what skills that you use to make that happen?
So the film, I said don't believe the hype.
Right.
It's a whole nother project.
It's a whole nother project.
Rondo Beyond the Pavement is a film, 2018, which was a project put on by St. Paul Neighborhood Network, the St. Paul Almanac, in collaboration with the High School for Recording Arts.
Yes.
And so I was hired as a teaching artist to come in and teach video production skills to about 11 young filmmakers to create an intergenerational conversation about what happened to Rondo. And it worked. And it worked. And it was an amazing experience as an artist to give my skills. I come from a long line of teachers, so I enjoy that part. But to see them go out and use those technical skills. So they learn the basics of a camera, they learn the basics of lighting, audio, all of those things. And then honestly becoming professionals and going out into the community and having a beautiful meal with some of the elders in the neighborhood. And then having a interview, having a conversation. They made about 23 questions that they wanted to know. A lot of them did not know. They attend our famed parade and Rondo days and never knew what it was about. So they were very excited to learn what life was like before the highway and the culture,
The rich,
and the
beautiful culture
yes,
that was there.
and the music and the people. And so it just became this beautiful organic thing. Like it is a film, but it became this beautiful organic thing that happened between young people and their elders. And so it just melts my heart.
Well, you have this deep connection with youth. So SPNN being a very important part of your education and your hands-on experience, if I was a high school senior or a kid in high school, could I like come and learn how to do videography and camera work and stuff? Really?
Yes.
How would I go about doing it? Do I just, like, I'm pretty scared. I have to catch the bus transfer twice. But tell me what I would have to do, just very briefly. Like, if I just had a passion for this, who would I reach out to? How would I do it?
So definitely, if anything, you can start off with our website and go to spnn.org. And there is a youth tab. And so there's different ways that you can plug in. We have a program called Create Tech. So that's if you have an idea, like if you wanted to do animation, if you wanted to learn how to work a camera and make something small, you can come to Create Tech and just tinker around. They call it a teen tinkering center.
Okay.
And so you can come and tinker around. But if you want to learn more, you can email us. Any of us can connect you.
Sure.
But learn more about the youth department, and they have youth action committee. You can create your own stuff, and so it's really just kind of connecting either through Create Tech or just stopping in. A lot of us are right here to help you with anything, and we will find the people that you need to talk to.
I know that you have all the modern software, the Adobe Illustrators on up, the full stack, and not to point out any one particular vendor, but you have access to a lot of high-powered equipment. So if you want to take those TikTok, Snapchat videos and really
to the next
level beyond,
we
this
can
is
help
the place
you.
to be.
Yes,
you can do that.
definitely.
So if that's any inspiration. So before we break, are there any words of wisdom that you would like to leave for our youth, or anything else you would like to say?
For our young people, I definitely want to tell them, like, don't be afraid. Just get out there, and there's a lot of different programs that are available to you. SPNN loves working with youth and loves helping them with whatever kind of projects they have on their mind. And so don't be afraid to try something different. Don't be afraid to pick up an actual camera, not just your cell phone, and try it out and see what you can do. So we're here to help you.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate all the support that you give into the Minnesota STEM Partnership, our Power Up IT, all of our sponsors, all of the individuals that have made this happen. Everyone, we are so appreciative of you, especially Bianca. So thank you for making Altitude happen. And this is our end of our season. So season 1 in the can.
Season 1 in the can.
Season 1 in the can.